Hello and welcome to Quill Connect 4 with me, Joyce Strachan-Brain, and
me, Bev Bevan. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, before we start, we'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone that watched the show and enjoyed it. They liked it, shared it. It means such a lot to us. We're reaching people all over the world now and it's a real thrill, so thanks very much.
And special thanks to our special guests on the show, two very talented guys. And as well as being special guests, they become very special friends to us now. So thank you very much to Phil Cool and to Chris Norman.
Yeah, they did a super job. Thanks, guys. So, Quill Connect 4, just to give you a little bit of information of what you can expect. Well, the long-awaited Pet Competition, you'll hear the winners from that. We've got our special band member is the wonderful Abbey Brandt, and you'll really enjoy her little interview and the song that we're going to play that Abby's featured singing. Of course, we'll have Bev's book and some anniversaries. And let's think, what else is there? A wonderful interview with Andy Fairweather Low, and Andy's joining us on a song from the new album, Riding Rainbows, and you'll hear a track later on in the show. And we're going to start with a feature all about drummers.
Yeah, over the last couple of months, drums have come back into my life in a big way on the new Quill album, Riding Rainbows. And percussion too, and a guy called Craig Fenney, who's knows every drummer and every drum company. Thanks Craig. He's got me a lovely deal with Natal drums. They made me a lovely practice kit and a brand new massive kit to use with Quill on stage. A drumstick deal. So that's all been great, hasn't it?
Absolutely brilliant. And we were fortunate enough to go to the factory, at Natal factory, and meet George. And it was just fantastic to look round this amazing factory, Natal, in Milton Keynes. Yeah,
and Natal in Milton Keynes, which is the sort of sister company of Marshall Amps, and a great guy called George Frederick, who's showed me all the drum kits, and I picked what I wanted. I was like a kid at Christmas, all of that and that and that and that. So that was great. And then again with Craig Fenney, he's got me involved in a charity single called Let There Be Drums, with lots and lots and lots of drummers on it. And it's such a good cause, this charity. It's all the money raised with the memorabilia and stuff that goes with it. It's all going to out of work road crew, because although us musicians have suffered over the last 18 months, not being able to do any gigs, but we've found other things to do. But for the crew, the sound guys, the lighting guys, roadies, they've just had no work at all. So all the money raised from Let There Be Drums is going to be donated to these guys.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And of course, we've posted it as well on our Facebook page, and we'd like to thank everybody that's actually gone out and bought a t-shirt or a CD, because as Bev says, it's a great cause, and you can still buy them obviously now. So
yeah, and what was great for me, that amongst the drummers on the record is Brian Bennett of Shadows fame, who when I was just starting to play drums, he was one of my absolute heroes. And we've met him since, haven't we?
Yes, he was great. I got to meet him at a gig we did with the Bev Bevan Band, and what a lovely fella. Yeah, really great.
A very talented guy, not just as a drummer, a great composer and arranger and producer and all sorts of things.
Brilliant.
And of course, we have our own.
Yes, just about to say, Andy Edwards. Yeah.
Yeah, my fellow drummer and percussionist in Quill. He's on the record too. And later on, there's going to be a competition to win some lovely prizes for you guys. But first, we're going to show the video of Let There Be Drums.
Kick. Snare. Hats. Top.
Hope you enjoyed that. 25 of us all playing the same song, which I'm sure we set some kind of record there. I mean, 25 drummers on one track. And all the original idea of Don Powell, who you saw there, featured my old friend Don Powell from Slade. Well done, Don.
Well done.
What a great idea that was.
Fabulous, fabulous. And you can win some wonderful prizes. So we have a mug, we have 4 of these Let There Be Drums CDs.
And we have 2 Let There Be Drums t-shirts. So 6 prizes in all to be won. I'm going to ask you a question, and it's not too difficult, I don't think. We just heard that was the brand new version of Let There Be Drums. I personally released a solo single of Let There Be Drums back in 1976, I think it was, on Jet Records. But who recorded the original version of Let There Be Drums way back in 1961? Mm-hmm. If you know the answer, please email the Quill website with the answer, and we'll put all the names into a hat, and the first 6 to be picked out will win these prizes.
So we'll obviously get in touch with you, and you can give your addresses and we can get them sent out to you. So good luck.
Good luck. Okay, this is we're recording this segment in the middle of August. So the anniversaries featured on this show are for the months of August and September.
Yeah.
So way back in 1967, on August the 11th, 12th and 13th, it was the 7th National Jazz, Pop and Blues Festival at Windsor Racecourse. And for the princely sum of £2 for your 3-day ticket, you got to see, listen to this, the Small Faces, Marmalade, Paul Jones, Pink Floyd, Amen Corner, featuring our good friend Andy Fairweather Low, Donovan, Zoot Money, Cream, Jeff Beck, John Mayall, Arthur Brown, Fleetwood Mac, and my old band, The Move.
Wow.
So I'd say that was pretty good value for money, wouldn't you?
£2.
Okay, on August 16th, 1975, Funky Moped by our old friend Jasper Carrott entered the UK charts, with me playing drums and doing my vocal, Funky Moped. And the silver disc is, I think, somewhere around here, because it actually managed to sell 250,000 copies. And it's a song that we still perform on stand-up and rock shows. Right, August the 19th, 1945 was when Ian Gillan was born. So on August the 19th, he was 76 years old. So happy birthday, Ian.
Happy birthday, Ian.
Yeah, and here's a photo of myself with Ian Gillan and Geezer Butler and Tony Iommi in my Black Sabbath days, which I loved. Okay, August the 20th, 1948 was when our friend Robert Plant was born. So Robert, 73 on August the 20th. Happy birthday, Rob. And here's, again, a photo of Robert and myself and another friend of ours, Raymond Froggatt.
Oh, wow.
Yep. August the 29th, 1981, ELO album Time hit the UK #1 spot. Wow. And there's an award for the Time album. And the last day of August, the 31st, 1968, was the first ever Isle of Wight Festival. And it starred Jefferson Airplane, The Pretty Things, The Crazy World of Arthur Brown, Fairport Convention, T-Rex, and The Move again. And again, it cost you a fortune. 2-day ticket, 25 shillings. That's £1.25p in new money. Right, into September. And a guy I worked with for so many years, and I got on with him so well. I do love Yorkshiremen. Mick Kaminsky and his famous blue violin. September the 2nd, Mick will be 70 years old. Happy birthday, Mick, and we hope to get you on this show one day.
Absolutely. Love to.
On September 10th, Jose Feliciano will be 76. And it was my privilege to play percussion with Jose Feliciano on a version of Last Train to London with ELO Part 2. And here's a cassette, remember them? A cassette copy of Last Train to London. Right, nearly come to the end now. On the 26th of September, it will be Olivia Newton-John's 73rd birthday. A lovely, lovely lady. And of course, ELO and Olivia had a #1 record with Xanadu.
Yeah, she's still looking great.
Back in, I think it was 1980. And there's a picture of the disc. Happy birthday, Olivia. Hope you're watching.
Birthday.
Finally, on September the 30th, in 1967, the Moves' Flowers in the Rain became the first ever record to be played on Radio 1. And we've done, Quill have performed that a few times, haven't we, over the years?
Great
Yeah,
song.
great. Another great Roy Wood song.
Yeah.
So that's the anniversaries for these 2 months, and October, November next.
Yep.
Hi, my name's Abbey Brandt and I play keys and sing with Quill. A little bit about me. Well, I started out at quite an early age, really. Coming from a musical family, I guess it was inevitable that I'd get involved in music one way or the other. And then I started playing and writing songs when I was around 6 years old, and I think my first ever gig I was about 10. But my interest in music started way before that. One of my first ever memories in my life was hearing ELO's Living Thing playing on the record player, and the strings just jumped out at me, and I just had to run over to the hi-fi to see what it was all about. And I remember watching the record spinning round and round and being fascinated by the fullness of the sound that would come out the speakers. I never thought of being bands with Bev Bevan today. I have quite a wide range of influences, really, from jazz, funk to soul and blues. Lev 42, one of my favourite bands growing up. And then later on I discovered Bonnie Raitt's music, and then subsequently John Cleary, who writes and performs with Bonnie Raitt. And his style of piano playing, I think, is fantastic, that whole New Orleans vibe. And ever since I've heard him play, I've tried to incorporate a bit of that New Orleans thing into my style of playing. Another influence is Steve Winwood, along with our own Bev Bevan, of course. I've been privileged enough to share the stage with Steve, Trevor Burton, Ruby Turner, Robert Plant and others, and it's been such an honour to be able to do these things, and I've had some fantastic experiences. I did some work with Quill a few years ago, and then I went on to do some other things for a while. Bev and I have continued to work together, really. We were doing Jasper Carrot's stand-up and rock tour, and before that we toured together with The Move. It was the last ever Move tour. They'd never had a girl in the band before, and Bev dubbed me the first ever Movette, which is quite funny. And also in the band we have Lee, of course, who's a good friend of mine, known him for some 25 years or something like that. And we started out doing a duo together, and then we've done various projects ever since. Yes, we've got a new Quill album that's to be released soon. Lockdown wasn't completely wasted. Initially it meant a slightly different way of working, because as opposed to being in the studio recording with sound tracks over remotely. But it's all come together really well, and we're really happy with how it's sounding, and hopefully you guys will like it too.
their talent.
Well, a part of the show that I know many of you have been looking forward to is our Pets Competition. And it's been really tricky because I've got to say they're all absolutely fantastic. We all love them, and we certainly wouldn't want the job of picking one out. So it was down to you, and we'd like to say that the third prize goes to a beautiful little dog by the name of Ellen. And her mum's called Sharon Dimmer. And apparently Ellen likes her ball, she likes swimming in the water, she particularly likes going to the pub, so she gets lots of treats there, and she's a really pretty little dog that makes Sharon very, very happy. So congratulations to Ellen and to Sharon Dimmer, third prize. Second prize, well, we had lots and lots of fantastic pussycats. I mean, there was many of them, and they are absolutely all beautiful, but you've picked one. And the prize goes to a little pussycat by the name of Ringo. And his mom is a lady called Angelica Bauer. And apparently this photograph of him is really cuddly, but apparently he's a bit feisty as well. But congratulations to Ringo, and that's second prize. And the first prize goes to a rather unusual pet, a pig. A pig by the name of Kevin. And Kevin has got quite an eccentric mum, I think, because they do a lot of travelling, and she's called Kitty Shark, and they're in America, but they're on the road all the time. They travel all over the place. He's got two companions, two pussycats, by the name of, let's get this right, Zoe and Laura, and they travel around. They've done 11 states so far. And the picture that you can see of Kevin here was taken near Custer in South Dakota. And they are something called boondockers. They're on the road all the time. So they have a really exciting life and have a marvellous time. And in fact, Kevin's got his own Instagram, his own Facebook, and he's known as Mr. Grunty Pants. So first prize goes to Kevin the pig. So well done to everybody. What we're going to do is we're going to make these three pets as special mascots. So at the end of every Quill Connect, you'll get to see them, and hopefully we'll find out more about them, what they're up to, what they're doing. So congratulations, but congratulations to everybody, because you've all got beautiful pets. Well done.
Okay, time for our very special guest, Andy Fairweather Low, who travelled to this studio here in Tamworth, which is in the heart of the Midlands for people that don't live in England, wouldn't know that. And he travelled all the way from Cardiff, and he made the mistake of travelling on a Friday at sort of rush hour times, and it took him 5 hours to drive. And he arrived he was so wiped out, in such a state, wasn't he?
He was, poor chap, but he came through, a cup of coffee and a bit of a chat, and he was fantastic, yeah. And it was a lovely interview with him, lots of stories. These two had lots of banter going on. So it was a really lovely interview. Enjoy. Well, great. It's so good to see you, Andy. You know, we're so looking forward to having you on Quill Connect. And how are you keeping?
I'm keeping really good. It would have been good if we could have driven up to see you, but we're still pegged in on the borders. They have the police on the bridge, and if you want to try and sneak round on the M5 and come back in the other way, no, they'll get you.
I didn't realise that you still couldn't get out of Wales.
No, we can stay in Wales.
Yeah.
We can't get out.
Oh, but hopefully, you know, we'll get together when we can.
Yeah, we will.
Well, you guys go back a long time, but I mean, I remember Amen Corner so well myself, you know, as a young teenager. And as I say, it's just a thrill to have you on the show.
And I remember the first time I saw the Move, the Reading Jazz Festival, because we were on, you were on, the Cream were on, Jimmy James and the Vagabonds were on. And I was in the field watching you with my green jumper, pair of jeans and a pair of sandals. Because we were on, I think we were on later, or we'd already been on, or whatever, but you were fabulous.
Thank you. Well, when we did the Hendrix tour together.
Yeah.
So I think it was 16 nights, 2 shows a night.
Yep, 2 shows a night. Yeah. Apart from the Albert Hall. The Albert Hall was one show because it overrun. It took so long that there was only the one show that night.
You remember that? I didn't remember
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I remember that, and I remember being at the sound check, listening to Hendrix do his bit of a sound check, and he was sitting on the drums, and he was playing this. Spanish Castle Magic, which we used on the front of Hello Susie. That very only through listening to Hendrix messing about on the drums. He was fabulous. The Pink Floyd had their sheet that night, the big white sheet.
Yeah.
So that they could project the wax onto. And they had it at Sophia Gardens, and that was it. All the other shows, they weren't allowed to use it because it was a fire risk, and none of the sort of the government, public buildings would let them use it. And the Floyd without the wax disc, it was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's what you're used to seeing. Yeah,
they started off with Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun, which I never understood at all. And then, of course, 1983, I worked with Roger Waters from 1983 to 2007. So I got to play Set the Controls, and it became one of my favorite numbers to play too.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's funny how that, the wheel turned, and because they weren't particularly friendly, the Floyd, on that tour.
Oh, really?
I don't think they
Some
talked.
stories to tell. Come on.
They travelled separately. We were all on a bus, a Charabang together. Hendrix went on the night before with Trevor, I think.
Yes, they were really close. Yeah,
I think they were close, and he'd go on because he'd go on to the next town. We'd stay in whatever it was, and Hendrix would go forward. But everybody else was together. Nice were great. Heir Apparent, they were fabulous guys, and the Outer Limits. One song.
yes.
Do you know what that song was? I do. Do you know what the song was?
No.
Reach Out and I'll Be There.
Oh,
Well,
That was their opening number. They morphed into Christie, I think, and Yellow River. Was it Yellow River? Yeah, Yellow River. The Outer Limits became Christie.
you've got a great memory.
you have. But I mean, you've got to claim that the headliners, the three guys, Jimi Hendrix and his Experience, they've all been gone for so long. They've had such short lives, all of them, really.
Burnt out, sort of.
Yeah.
Such a shame.
They did go for it.
Yeah, they did. They did go, but some others have gone for it, and they're still with us.
Well, Trevor, God bless him, Trevor Burton, who hung around with them a lot, and he's done a lot.
I know.
But he's still with us. He's still old Trevor. He's still around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came up and saw him at the Robbie. They put a little gig on for him, and I came up and did something for that. It's good to see him.
Yeah.
And I saw Ace too.
Was he at that?
Yes, he was.
Oh.
Yeah, well, we saw Ace at a John Bonham tribute concert about 2 years ago. Yeah, he's come through it again. He's been through some bad times. But
Yeah, well, we used to do 10 Sundays at the Aquarium Theatre in Great Yarmouth. You were a guest one Sunday. You came on. My God, you were loud. 8 miles high. I think it's one of them.
I think we did. I think we did. I remember that. I think we did it on purpose because we didn't want to. It's hell of a drive from Birmingham to Great Yarmouth and back.
You could try it from Glasgow.
So yeah. So we thought, well, we'll do this one night because we've been booked for the season, and we thought we'll just be so loud that they won't ever have us back again. and it worked.
Yeah, Billy Fury was top of the bill. Fantastic. He was really fantastic. Backed by Peter J and the Jaywalkers. So I got to see him every Sunday once. We watched the show. He was fully. I'd never seen anybody with makeup before in rock and roll, but Billy was fully. He was fully made up. He came on, sparkly suit, and did his bit. Oh, it's fabulous.
I thought he was our best. He looked like an American rock and roll star.
Yeah.
He was the only one. Even Cliff didn't really look like that, but Billy Fury did. He really had the look.
Yeah.
Just perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, fantastic.
So we've been checking on your CV, I mean, it's just extraordinary. The people that you've worked with is amazing. I mean,
I've got a big list of A4 paper because I had to write it up once for a for a magazine, and it just went. And I'm still adding to it now.
It's brilliant, though, isn't it? Fantastic.
Yeah, it is. I don't get it, if you know. I mean, I don't understand the connection. It's like when I used to play with Eric. Usually after the gig, there'd be some kind of social thing, and people would come up. Some people would just come up to me and say, "I can do what you're doing," and I'm going, "Yeah, I bet you can." There's millions of other better guitar players, but the gig is about a lot more than just playing the guitar for 2 hours.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you don't fit in, it doesn't matter how good a guitar player you are. If you're a pain in the ass, you're not sticking around.
No.
You've got to learn how
to work with you if you're a nice person and you've got something to offer and just easy to get along with, I think. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why this show's great, because this connection with so many people, Quill Connect, it's really seems to live up to its name, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, well, one of the connections is that one of your big hits with Amen Corner was Hello Susie, which was written for you by Woody.
Yeah.
Yep, Woody sent a cassette and a letter. I wish I still had the letter. And he did a picture of himself, a little.
He draws well, Woody. Yeah,
he did. And it said blah blah blah. I think this would be good for you, and sort of intimating that he would like to be there when we recorded it. That was never going to happen. We had to do what we had to do. And I like, the thing about Hello Susie that I don't like is the key.
It's high. Yes. Yeah, it is.
Even now, it's like, you
have got the range, haven't you? You've got that range.
I do, but you can't do that every night.
No.
You have to manage it with all the songs, because the hit song has to be sung exactly as people have heard it. It's not like a rock and roll song. You can mess about, a bit of blues, you can change it. If you're not feeling that good, you can sort of go off on an angle with it. No, with Half as Nice, with any of them, they had to be exactly as the record was, because that was the connection.
That's right.
And I certainly couldn't have stayed in all those keys. Some of them I have, but and done night after night, and then done a couple of belters, and then and mixed it up. So we learned how to manage it. Drop the key.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be done.
Not too far. Not too far. No. Enough. La la. So it's still, it's in there, but not la la. Oh, dear me. No.
Do you sing much at home? Because I worry about this. When we come back after lockdown, you sing along with songs or whatever, but it's not the same, is it, as belting it out?
No, it's when I had trouble in the 70s with my voice, I went to see two specialists. Dr. Punt was one of them. He tried to sell me his book as I was leaving, and it put me on steroids. And the truth is, my issue was, it's a muscle, and you have to use it all the time. Well, I was touring for maybe 2 months in a year. The rest of the time, I was having fun. And worst of all, when I was on the road, I was having fun. So there was no looking after it. So
I've heard about your curries after the show and all that sort of stuff.
No. That's the first thing when we get there. Is it an Indian restaurant around here? But book it see if they can take us. What time we finish? You go. In fact, Dave has to leave early. To get it shut in. To get in there and say they will be here, they will be, and he takes, he knows exactly what we all want. It's fabulous, and they're real ale people. Dave and Nick, we lose Nick.
That's great, though, isn't it?
He is the most wonderful guy.
Oh, isn't he? Hadn't seen him for a lot of years, but we hit it off straight away, didn't we? And
lovely fella. Yeah.
What a player too! I gotta tell you, what a player! Absolutely love his playing.
We do. He did a great job on Chinese Whispers, and
that's him.
Yeah, great.
I've never really worked with a sax player at all in my whole career. I've just been in bands that just never have a brass section of. So it's.
But your band now, it's got such a fantastic brass section, hasn't it? The Lowriders.
When we can, if it's a festival or if I'm playing at home where we get more people, then we can have the bigger band. But we've added Rich Milner now on keyboard. So whereas we never had we've got an organ player now. So it's kind of the old combo that I've always wanted: sax player, organ player. I play guitar. Yeah, but we need to get back. Just need to get back, and we will.
Yes, of course we will. We've got dates scheduled now for September, and cross they're going to happen. And we still think we could do a great gig together. So I hope we can pull that off.
I'll text the number.
Yeah.
I'll text John's number. Good.
And I think it could be a really good bill, actually. I think it would work great.
Yeah, it's just finding the right place. And
the right place.
It would be great. And of course, we're absolutely thrilled that you're going to be singing on one of our tracks as well.
I've been working on a song for the last 2 months. Last night, I think I cracked it. Finally put the vocal down, finally done it. Because I've recorded this maybe 3 or 4 times, had to start from scratch again. So I think I'm done with that. So now I can concentrate on Black Dog. There you go.
That would be fantastic. The album's coming together. We've only got 1 track now to really finish, and then we get some artwork and get that out. So that'd be great. And have you got a new album or anything coming out?
I've got 26 songs now sitting there waiting to do something with. And I've been offered some time in Rockfield.
Brilliant.
So I think we'll get down there when we can.
Yeah.
Get everyone together, because certainly Dave can't travel into sort of Monmouth is Wales, England. You know, it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
So as soon as we can travel and get in there, we're going to make an album, but of things that we'd normally play on stage, or things I've always wanted to do. And then at some point, I'll do an album of these songs that are just sitting there in a queue, waiting to come out.
You've got to get them done. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Help them out. Isn't it great that we're all so passionate about what we do still?
I can't believe it. I mean, I left school, that was it. It was nothing. That was straight off to London. 64, I started to play the guitar. Saw the Rolling Stones on a bill with Mike Sarn and Billy Davis, Jet Harris, Bern Elliott and the Fenmen.
Wow.
I saw that show, and that was it. Up until then, it was football. Mind you, it's football now. It wasn't a good day for you yesterday. It was a bloody awful day for us yesterday.
Well, I don't kind of. I'm not counting this season. It's not really. I can't get into it. There's no crowds. It's made me a rugby supporter though, because I watched the rugby and really enjoyed it. And I I've got my great grandfather was Welsh, so I've always supported in rugby. I've always supported Wales. Bevan the drum, you see.
Bevan the drum. Bevan the stick. I mean, it is football with me. It's not rugby. I was at secondary modern school, and we never played rugby. We always played football. The grammar schools played rugby.
That's what I had to do.
Yeah, 1 year they decided, our teachers, we were going to play rugby and cricket. Up until then, it was football and baseball. We played baseball. So we did. We played the grammar schools, and we got absolutely slaughtered. And begged him, you know. But when it came to cricket, we had we looked the most perfect kit. You know, our mothers made sure we were absolutely gleaming in white and shocking. So that was it. Just 1 year of playing the grammar school games. And when I watch rugby now, it's just that thing in the back of my mind that I wasn't bright enough to play rugby. You know, so what you're going. So football, Cardiff City. That's what we watch.
I don't have different. We're all back to normal. Yeah.
Well, the music industry it was a good thing then that you didn't go into football. You became a musician.
Well, I was a goalkeeper, and I was never going to be tall enough to be a goalkeeper. So I got the bug, and it was the thing not to do. When you started to play, when I started to play, it was, you need to get a proper job. It's just going nowhere, you know. And both my brothers had apprenticeships, and both firms. My brother worked for Lanwern, and that went bust. And my other brother worked as a mechanic, and that garage went bust. And I was still on the road.
There you go. I've had experiences like that with friends. You know, my parents didn't actually say that to me. They were really good. They encouraged me all the way. But so many people that went for proper jobs and, as you say, got unemployed, and we hung on in there. And
Well, I've said a lot that I'm so grateful that after leaving school, I had a job at a departmental store for 1 year with Jasper Carrot. And then I left. And from 1963 till this present day, I've made a living playing music, doing something that I really love. And I think to be able to say that is such a privilege.
Yeah, we're blessed with that one. In this year and a half now, it's the only time I've not worked on the road.
Yeah.
Sometimes we make a good earning, and other times we just make an earning, and that's it. But I've
we
always
do what we love.
Yeah, and we'll do it again.
Still in a van.
Yeah. Andy, it's been so good to speak with you, and I know everyone's going to really enjoy this interview, and we've certainly had a great time, haven't we?
Yeah.
And at some point we'll meet up.
Let's get together when we can.
Yeah, no, that'd be good.
Yeah.
And if you're booking for September, that's fabulous. That gives a bit of glimmer of hope there. I mean, they're telling us maybe October, but most of them want to go for next year. Want to go for 2022.
That's safe. It is safe to go for next year, but these gigs have been rescheduled a few times, so we're going for September, one in November, and quite a few in December, and just hope and get as many in as we can for next year, all of us.
Yeah, wouldn't that be good?
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get together. Hopefully this year we'll get together and
raise a glass or
raise
two.
a glass of champagne. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I'll be raising a glass tonight, but I'll raise it that night too.
Yeah, maybe get a curry in as well.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Better, you know.
Brilliant. Well, it's been great to have you here. Really appreciate you coming on, and can't wait to hear what you do with Black Dog Day.
Yeah, good. Well done. And thank you, Bev. Thank you, Joy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy.
Cheers, Andy.
Cheers, mate.
Take care.
Ta-da.
Bye.
See you soon.
Well, that was Black Dog Day, one of 12 tracks that's going to be on the new Quill album, Riding Rainbows. And it featured, of course, my old friend Andy Fairweather Low, who I worked with back in Move days on a Jimi Hendrix British tour. And he's got a fabulous band now called the Low Riders.
Excellent. In fact, on an earlier show, his sax player did a song with us, Chinese Whispers, Nick Pentalo, so you can tell the quality of the band.
Yeah, and you know, we're due to be back on the road September the 4th, Lichfield Garrick, first of our shows. And I know that Andy Fairweather Low and the Low Riders, they're planning some more shows around the same sort of time. So please check them out. They're a great band.
Super. Well, we very much hope you've enjoyed Quill Connect 4. It's been great fun doing it again, and you may have noticed we're in a different studio. That's because the main studio, we're all set up for rehearsals, and we're just going to shoot over to the other studio in a few minutes and rehearse for the shows, and they're coming up soon. If you live locally, we're playing the Lichfield Garrick on the 4th of September. We're playing the Walker Theatre in Shrewsbury on the 9th of September, and on the 18th we're at the Palace, Redditch, so get your tickets.
I'm really chuffed that the guy that I actually set out with, my first ever band, was a band called Denny Lane and the Diplomats back in 1963. And we had some great gigs. We actually opened for the Rolling Stones, we opened for the Beatles. And the leader of the band was Denny Lane, and he left the band to form the Moody Blues. And then, of course, he had many years with Paul McCartney in Wings. And Denny said he'll be our special guest on the next Quill Connect, so that's going to be great.
Really looking forward to that. And our final piece of news, which we're very, very excited about, is we have got a new album, Riding Rainbows, ready to release. And the release date is the 29th of October, but you can pre-order. You can pre-order CDs, you can pre-order, find out how to order for online, and just go to the website. Simple as that, www.quilluk.com. And I hope you're going to enjoy that new album.
It is a fabulous album. It really is.